you are all doing well this Friday afternoon or Friday morning. You got hopefully a fun weekend ahead of you, a fun day ahead of you. We're excited here in the office. We're wrapping up a trade today and Monday for a chunk of assets. We're really excited about these contract for deeds that we're buying. These occupied, good condition, powers on assets that are just going to be some cash cows, as we say, or maybe prize piggies, because they're going to be just cashing in, be rolling in the cash on these things. So we're pretty excited about that. Been a lot of work over the last 2 weeks. So today, one of the things we're actually doing is actually for lunch, we're going to go see a movie.
Yeah.
If we can't have fun and go see a movie to hit on stuff, and so we're excited about that. We're also excited that 3 of our fast track students, or 3 groups, I should say, it's more than actually 3 students. Actually, 6 students are closing on deals, their first deals today as well, right? So yay! That Harvey, Chris, and Hatham, and Katie, and Riaz, and is that everybody? I think it's everybody.
Yeah, 1, 2,
Yeah.
4, 5. Yeah.
Yeah, that's everybody. So congrats to all those guys. You'll be seeing some emails come out on Monday with them closing their first deals. We're pretty stoked about that. But today's topic is based on a phone call I got today. Right off the chutes, I got a phone call about 9 o'clock this morning. I was here in the office. Came from a guy in New Jersey. He'd been referred over to me from FCI. And so big shout out to FCI Exchange for referring people our way. And he's like, what can you do for me? Right off the book. I'm like, wait a second. Okay. Before you just come in and try and hammer me over the head with a baseball bat, let me do a little brush back for you here. Okay. What's your experience? And the guy's like, oh, I'm a mortgage broker here in New Jersey. We do some fix and flips, and I want to buy 30 notes. And FCI said I could call you to buy 30 deals. I'm like, well, that's not necessarily the case. I said, how many notes have you bought before? I haven't bought any before, okay? But I've got plenty of investors that will fund it, and I know I'm going to have hard money lenders that are going to fund my deals like they fund my fix and flips. And so that's why today's topic is called REO refugees, all right? We get people that call us all the time that are looking for real estate deals. They hear about notes. They like the idea of hearing stuff, buying stuff at a discount, but they come in and expect to hit a home run right off the bat, swinging for the fences. Like, wait a second. You got to learn the fundamentals. You got to learn the 5 tools, really, of notes. And being a big baseball fan and being baseball season going on right now, I always amazed at people. They come in, and this guy, we had to talk a little about his background, and he's like, I want to just buy New Jersey. I want to buy notes just New Jersey. I'm going to foreclose on them. I'm going to sell them as REOs and fix and flips. I'm like, okay, first and foremost, no, dude, that's not an effective strategy for you. Because I want to be very hands-on, not an effective strategy. Okay? And then, slow down there a little bit. I said, dude, you need to get some education. I go, who's your servicer? Who's going to be doing the workouts for you? What kind of strategies are you going to have? You need to answer these questions. Like, listen, look, I'm not here to sell you a workshop, but you need to look at taking our virtual note buying workshop. Because, okay, tell me about it. And of course, the humor, he asked me the price. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's $5. Oh, yeah, $6. That's awesome. I'm like, yeah, that's funny, $6. That's great. I think it's 3 days online. He goes, oh, that's a big problem. I go, what's the problem? Well, I don't have time for 3 days. I think it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You don't have time? And that's the thing. I said, when you were becoming a mortgage broker, and I know this because of experience, didn't you have to get licensed? Didn't you just study? Did you go learn how to do what you do? Don't you go take continuing education classes all the time? Yeah. Well, that's how you get to be a mortgage broker. That's how you get to be a note investor. You've got to take the time to learn the tools of the trade.
Plus, even if they don't have time, they're recorded.
Well, that's the thing too. I'm like, they're recorded, but just from the conversation, this guy's not going to take the time to go back and watch the replays. He's too, hate to say, big-headed. Well, I can do, well, that's great. I'm sure you can, but you need to take a slice of humble pie and break it down a little bit. I'm like, hey, I love being motivated. I love people that are fired up and ready to roll and want to get rocking, but you're not going to be a Hank Aaron or a Babe Ruth out the gates right off the bat. You got to learn to bunt. You got to learn to throw. You got to learn to field. You got to learn to catch. You got to learn how to run the bases. Okay? To do all that stuff in notes, it's a totally different ballgame. But we get phone calls like that all the time from people. I want to buy notes because I can't find deals on the REO side anymore. Great. It's a different ballgame. It's a different formula. And he's like, oh, I want to buy these 300, $200,000 houses for 30 cents a dollar. Like, that's not going to happen. What? What do you mean it's not going to happen? I'm like, well, those are old pricing models from years ago. And if you're wanting to buy something that's almost an REO, you're not going to get it for 30 cents a dollar. You're going to get it for 60, 70 cents a dollar, depending on where it's located. So it was just funny. He goes, well, do you have anything in New Jersey you can send me? Like, I'm not going to send you anything. He got mad. I'm like, listen, no offense, dude. All you'd be doing is pissing your money away, and I'm not going to waste time with that. If you're not going to take the time to learn and what you have to do, I'm trying to help educate you. You're calling me. I'm not the one calling you. Okay? So what are the big 5 differences between that we deal with? That'd be a great way. It's a little thing to go through. So first and foremost, can we get a little drum roll, please? Oh, we get my noise maker there. Drum roll. Oh, okay.
You do it. I don't know.
You're the producer. Come on now. Drum roll, please. Reason number 5. First and foremost, you're buying the debt, not the property. This is the hardest thing for people to realize that come from the fix and flip side. They like to go out and touch it and feel it and pick up paint colors and carpet. Oh, I love fix and flips. I love AMC TV. I love HGTV. I love to flip this house. I like the flip or flop. You're not buying the property. You're buying the debt that controls the property. So you have a whole different round of possible strategies of things that can happen before you ever end up the property, right, guys?
Right.
You end up either getting the mortgage reinstated, you modify it, you do a short sale, cash for keys, before you ever get to the point of owning the property. That's the first thing. And you have to realize each of those strategies, each of those exits is going to be different in the long run. And also they have a different profitability side to them. If you come out the fact that like, oh, you just want to foreclose, you're going to lose a lot of money and leave a lot of money on the table. And I can speak from experience because that's where I made a mistake early on. I bought notes with the old idea I was going to foreclose on everything and then sell it as REO, and I totally lost a lot of money and left a lot of money on the table that I could have brought in without having to put money out towards rehab costs, foreclosure costs, and time costs when I could have had a reperforming asset that I could have sold off later on and made more money than foreclosing and selling as an REO. Any questions about that? All right, please, number 2.
Oh,
Well, that's the bomb. That's all right.
Oh, what is it?
There you go. The number 2 reason is pricing is completely different. Most fix and flippers come from a formula called MAO. What does MAO stand for? Maximum allowable offer. Now, what they do is usually take 65 to 70% of ARV. Now, what ARV stands for is after repair value. Now, that's different than your as-is value. Can we agree with that, everybody? As is, what's the property look like? What's it look like as is without repairs? There's a big difference in that. So we base our pricing off of as-is values, not ARV, and we also take consideration it's the UPB, or the unpaid principal balance, okay? I see a lot of rehabbers, I see a lot of realtors that come in and they make offers at 70% minus of ARV minus repairs, and they're way overpricing the asset. Because if the asset's worth 100 today, but you put ARV at 150, and you're making 70% minus repairs, you're going to be way the hell off by about 30, 40,000. Okay, and you're overpaying for an asset because you are programmed for the property side, not the note side. So that's just the thing with what we're doing. The pricing, you have to base it off of what's owed now, what's as is, and if it's occupied, what's the potential gains that they do reinstate or modify? So that's number 2. Number 3. Number 3 is you have so many more markets out there to invest in, not just your own home or your own city or state. There's actually oftentimes better places to invest than where you're at. That's the hardest thing most people deal with, especially if you're used to being in an area like Houston or Dallas, where you're able to find real estate deals there, but it's starting to get tighter. You have to expand your horizons. Now, I haven't bought anything in Texas. Well, I take that. I haven't bought anything in Austin in over 10 years. Just doesn't make sense. Well, I take that back. About 7 years. I bought some condos. I did buy some condos back a few years ago, but I haven't bought anything big here in a while because I just get better deals in other areas. All right, that's the biggest thing. you also realize that, hey, the same people you would use here to help you out are everywhere. Ooh, you can clone yourself in other markets with realtors and rehabbers and REI clubs. Oh my! So you have to realize it's beyond your market. Get outside of your comfort level, and you'll get rock and roll. That's the number 3 thing, right? What's number 4? Drum roll, please. Number 4 is a really, really, really nice thing, okay? Really, really great thing. It is the ability to literally save markets. You're saving blocks. If you're, I'm gonna give you a big difference. If you buy a note and get it reinstated, get them repaying on time, it helps that market, it helps that city, it helps that neighborhood dramatically versus a foreclosure, okay? Now, a foreclosure, if a house goes to foreclosure, it depreciates the neighborhood. It will drop the value of the assets around it, sometimes $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000. That's hard. That's a hard value to get brought back up. That's what's so great about us helping families stay in their house. It's a good thing of helping somebody get back on their feet. You know, they're working, they're trying to make ends meet, they're trying to get things going. And unfortunately, hey, financial hurdles or hiccups happen all the time to people. Let's just be honest. Bad things happen to good people. The fact that you can come in, buy a note, keep somebody in the property, somebody who wants to stay, somebody who's pride of ownership, get them, help them out, and make it a win-win is a great thing. All right. Yes, you're going to make money. Yes, you got some flexibility of things. And honestly, some people out there need to be a little bit more aggressive in their workouts. It just is what it is. A lot of borrowers, hey, sellers and buyers will always be liars. Okay, you've probably heard that in real estate before. Oh, it only needs $1,000 worth of work when it needs 10 grand. You know what I mean? Especially a lot of wholesalers. You have to realize, though, that you have the opportunity to really keep the values of the neighborhoods, not only on the assets you're buying, but the properties around you. And that helps everybody in the long run, especially if you do look to sell that asset later on, or the borrower looks to get refinanced out. You want those higher values. Or if they look to sell that property to a short sale, you want those higher values to help you be able to make money and actually keep the values of the areas around you. That's number 4. So what's number 5? Number 5 is that there are just so many deals. Literally 6 million non-performing mortgages out there still sitting around. You have another 2 to 3 million in mods that are hitting in the market. You have so many opportunities. That's why we see REO refugees coming over, because they can't find the deals. They can't find the REOs. They can't find the fix and flips because they're overpriced for the most part. And yes, let's be honest, lots of people are going to these fix and flip weekend deals and fix and flip this and fortune builders that and all this other things. There's nothing wrong with fix and flipping houses. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's nothing wrong with it. If that's your business model, great. I have some great friends in the industry that do that in markets. They're doing 100, 200, 300, 400 deals a year. That's great. We love doing hundreds of deals here without having all the overhead of having GC crews and stuff like that, because we are a niche. All right. We have this pool of assets to dive into. We have these deals that hit the market 6 to 12 months before an REO investor or a fix and flipper will ever see. And that's one of the beautiful things is that, hey, you don't have to have huge overhead of general contractors and crews and run up a huge tab at Home Depot to make things happen. You can do this from your office, from your home, from the beach if you need to, while you're traveling. Quite a few of our guys are doing stuff while they travel across the country. I do that. So those are the biggest 5 reasons that we see a lot of REO refugees coming over to the note side. Although it is the sexy side of real estate, baby. Any questions, comments from you guys out there this morning? Really? No questions, no comments? Are we too early?
I think they're a little too early. They're just getting their minds blown.
They're getting their, oh, there you go. Mind blown.
Dropping knowledge bombs.
Knowledge bombs. There you go. You did. That's what it was. Good job there with that. So one of the great things, we're going to do a little something special. If people are watching this all the way I'm going to go on. If you've never attended one of our virtual note buying workshops, I'm going to give you a special code for those that watch all the way to the end here. We're not going to type it in there. We're going to see who pays attention. Okay. So if you use, let's do this. The special code will be BOMBS. If you go to weclosenotes.com and sign up for the virtual note buying workshop that's next weekend, and use the code BOMBS, BOMBS, all caps. I gotta go in and put it in there right now. I'll give you $100 off so you can get signed up for $4.99. Okay, we'll see who's actually watching these things all the way through.
Yeah.
So
nice.
maybe get some sign-ups, maybe not. We'll go from there. So if there's no other questions or comments, anybody?
Not right now.
All right. Well, then you all have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully the weather's nice. I know I'm gonna be here in the office working a little bit tomorrow. We're gonna take the afternoon and have a little bit of fun here at WC and go see Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Chill out, come back, send some wires out, and have some fun. So I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm actually checking something else off my bucket list this weekend.
What's that?
So I'm going to Houston to see Metallica. Yes, Metallica. All right, Enter Sandman. I love rock and roll. I especially like Metallica. I grew up watching it, listening to them. Never made it to a concert. So as a 40-year-old guy, I'm actually going to see him for the first time. I'm taking earplugs because otherwise I'm going to be deaf come Monday.
And so, the whole time.
Yeah, it will be a basin out. We got pretty good seats, so I'm excited about that. Let's be fun Sunday night. So Monday morning I'll come back and probably be deaf or mute from time to be here. So
like, huh?
Exactly. So have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Go do something. And if you're struggling to find deals, you're struggling as an REO refugee, a fix and flip flop, a loser landlord, come to the dark side, come to the sexier side of real estate, and join us at the note stuff. Join us in the note game, the paper game. Trust me, it's a lot of fun. Sometimes I think it's more fun than should be allowed by law in real estate. So otherwise, have a great weekend. We'll see you guys all at the top, everybody. Bye.